Hello friends, welcome to Insights ICANN Initiative. In today's video, we are going to discuss about Maratha Reservation. This topic of Maratha Reservation, we will discuss why this is in news. That means, first I will explain what is the context of this particular news. Because if you know the context very well, then you can easily link this particular topic with the GS, General Studies. Then, who are Marathas? We will try to understand about Marathas and their demographic details, because this entire video is about the Maratha Reservation. So obviously we have to know the percentage of Marathas and which kind of community they belong to. Of course they are the warrior class. Then Supreme Court position on the Maratha Reservation. In this aspect we will discuss about various committees related to Maratha Reservation. There were prominent couple of committees are there. Okay, Narayan Rane committee and some other committees are there. We will discuss about those committee findings and the observations of High Court and Supreme Court. Particularly with respect to Supreme Court, we will give more emphasis to Indira Sahani judgment. Okay, and finally we draw the conclusion. So this is the overall learning outcomes of this particular video is going to be. First, context. The context is Maharashtra Assembly, they passed a bill. The bill is allowing 10% of reservation to Marathas. How much percentage? 10% of reservation to Marathas. In which areas? In the areas of education and employment. Normally reservations in education, okay, Constitution provides reservations mainly education and employment. Reservations in education mainly deal by Article 15, whereas reservations in employment deal by Article 16. Tell me students, in both Article 15 and Article 16, which provisions are dealing with the EWS reservation? Okay, put your answer in the comment section. So now this particular bill is providing reservation to Marathas in both education as well as the employment categories. Okay, now let's see. First we'll try to understand about Marathas demographic details. Marathas population in overall Maharashtra population is around 33%. Most of them are either peasants or the landowners. Okay, they were very wealthy people during the early times of the Indian independence. But as the agriculture is experiencing crisis and a land fragmentation, all these factors leading to most of the Marathas now they confined to middle class or below middle class. That means their economic condition as well as their social condition and education condition is not that much great. So to help to them, this kind of reservations are being mooted or promoted, okay, in education as well as the employment. Let's see. So this demand, the demand regarding the Marathas reservation, this demand was there since 1981. Since 1981, this particular demand for Maratha reservation, it becomes one of the integral part of the Maratha politics. Okay, always there. So Maharashtra government in 2014, they issued an ordinance. Through this ordinance, they tried to provide 16% reservation to Marathas in government jobs and education. And Maharashtra government claimed that this particular 16% reservation, it was based on the Narayan Rane committee. I think Narayan Rane is also one of the politicians, I think so, in Maharashtra. If any one of you from Maharashtra, you can comment that. Narayan Rane committee recommended that 16% reservation. Okay, it was challenged in the High Court. High Court, it reduced the reservation from 16% to particular percentages such as, okay, 12% and 13%. 12% in education and 13% in jobs. Okay. Now, before we discuss that, apart from Narayan Rane committee, there was one more commission also appointed. Their commission was Maharashtra State Backward Class Commission. Maharashtra State Backward Class Commission. This commission led by M.G. Gaikwad. This commission particularly, it done extensive research and it almost all it reached out to almost all 45,000 of the family and from various particular villages, and more than 50% of the Maratha population they covered. This commission is around 11-member commission, and this commission submitted a report in 2018, and based on this commission recommendation, Maratha communities are completely backwards in education and social point of view, social backwardness, education backwardness and economic backwardness was there. Based on this commission recommendation, government given reservation to Marathas. Okay, And this Marathas reservation, it was challenged in Bombay High Court in 2019, and Bombay High Court reduced that 16% to 12% in jobs and 13% in 12% in education and 13% in jobs. We are talking about government education and government jobs, not the private one. Now, while giving this judgment, Maharashtra High Court, Bombay High Court also observed that in exceptional condition, total reservations can go beyond 50%. That means total reservations can breach 50% in exceptional and extraordinary condition. That was the observation of Bombay High Court. Again, this was challenged in the Supreme Court. Supreme Court clearly mentioned that in no exceptional conditions, total reservation should not go beyond 50%. That means caste based reservation should not go beyond 50%. That means Supreme Court again Supreme Court struck down this judgment and this decision of the Maharashtra government, and Supreme Court reiterated that caste based reservation should not go beyond 50%. Okay. Now see, Supreme Court observed that under no exceptional conditions or extraordinary situations, the Maratha reservation should not go beyond 50% of the ceiling limit, because providing more than 50% reservations, it is violating the Article 14 of the Indian Constitution as well as the Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. That was the observation of Supreme Court, and Supreme Court reiterated that they are confined to the 50% limit which they mentioned in the Indira Sahni judgment. In the Indira Sahni judgment, actually it was a very landmark judgment. In Indira Sahni judgment, Supreme Court observed various things such as reservation should not go beyond 50%. Which reservation? Caste based reservation. And Supreme Court also mentioned that for the first time in the judgment, Supreme Court introduced the concept of creamy layer. Okay. Supreme Court observed this reservation to OBCs are constitutionally valid, but at the same time there must be a creamy layer. That means people who belongs to the creamy layer, they should not enjoy the reservation benefits. So far we are discussing about this Indira Sahni judgment, 3 observations: caste based reservation not more than 50%, OBC reservations are constitutionally valid, and creamy layer concept. In the same judgment, Supreme Court also quashed down the EWS reservation. Then also EWS reservation was introduced during the PV Narasimha Rao government, and this EWS reservation was struck down in the same judgment. Apart from that, in this judgment, Supreme Court also observed that reservations cannot be given in the promotion of the jobs. Okay, to counter this observation, later we added the Article 16(4)(a), which is now promoting the reservation in promotions. So these are the various observations of the Indira Sahni judgment. Then what is the way forward? The way forward is reservations are the policies related to very sensitive matters, and these sensitive matters, they must deal in a very wise manner. They cannot be used just for electoral gains. That is the conclusion. Now let's see today's prelims question. Which one of the following pairs are not correctly matched? Article 15, Article 22, Article 20, Article 16. Which one is not rightly matched? Now main question. What is the rationale, that is the reason behind the reservation system in India, and how the Supreme Court judgments on economically weaker section impact Marathas' demand for reservation? Listen, what is the reason behind the reservation system in India, and how the Supreme Court judgment on economically weaker section impact the Maratha demand for reservation? How this EWS reservation demand will impact the Maratha reservation? This is the main question. Okay. Now, as we reach to the end of this video, in this particular video we discussed about Maharashtra government and the bill passed by assembly, how much percentage of reservations, then demographic details of the Marathas, and how this demand got evolved since 1981. Various committees and commissions we discussed, observations of Bombay High Court and observations of Supreme Court and Indira Sahni judgment. So these are the things we discussed in this particular video, and this is the detailed analysis regarding the Maratha reservations and Bombay High Court as well as the Supreme Court observations. Thanks for watching our video. Have a great day. Jai Hind.